Hi guys, welcome back. And we're back with another interesting topic for you. As you can see in the screen, uh, we are we are building this tool, and I'm naming it Time Machine. And this is actually the time machine for any websites. So what this allows you to do, you can type any website you want, and let's go with google.com. Okay. So if you want to see how google.com looked in the past, you can select dates here. So let's go to 2012. Okay. 2012 May 1. Let's see how Google looked in 2012 May 1. So it might take some time. Let's wait and see. So there is no preview available. If there is no if it cannot get any preview, it will say this message. So let's go for 2016 then. I think it has one. So it's showing us from 2016 4:30. See, this is how Google looked in April 30, 2016. And the time is also there. So this is the screenshot, I mean the snapshot from that time. So we can also, play with this. This is actually the website after that time. Okay. Isn't this interesting? So you can change the website and see how Twitter looked at that time. See, we have one for Twitter as well. We are saying from 2016 4:30. It will find the closest date from the one that we selected here. See, Twitter looked like this at that time. So let's go and build this tool together. Okay, let's start. So we will start from HTML as always. I will call it Time Machine for Websites, and I have to include some CD in here for the Bootstrap, the font awesome, and then jQuery. Okay, now we can start our HTML. Let's go with container fluid, and we have row here. I'll also call it main container. Inside it, I will have cool MD4 for the left panel and cool MD8 for the right panel. Nice. For the left panel, we will have the form elements, right? Class equals text center, some margin at the bottom, and it will have let's go with the font awesome icons. FA clock, icon large, and H2, which will say time machine. Let's see how it looks. Okay, we have to add some custom CSS later on. Let's go with card title here for the time machine, and let's have another paragraph which will say explore websites from the past. Okay, so I may add a class here with card description. This should be good. Now let's go to the let's go with ID for time machine form. So for this one, we create a class with MB4, and inside it, I will have label for website and class of form label. It will say website URL, and then class equals input group, and it will have a span with class input group text with class FA group. Let's see. Yeah. So what next? The span is done. Now I need the actual input field with type equals text. I may not need the name. What I'll need is form control, then IT equals website, placeholder equals example.com. It will be required. Okay, this is what I wanted. Okay, now for the date. So for date, after this div, we'll create another div with class MB4. It will also have some input elements, labels, things. So we start with label for equals date, class equals form label, and it will say select date. And we'll have input group here. Once again, same as above. It will also have a span with class input group text, and it will also have a font awesome icon, but it won't be a globe. It will be calendar. And finally, we also have the input box, but not text. It will be date, so I don't need placeholder here. This is also required, and its ID is this one, date. Great. Let's see. Right. We are going good now. Now I need the button. So for the button, after this MB4, we'll create another class with maybe grid. Let's go with display grid, and button type equals submit, class equals button, button submit, and it will also have an icon from font awesome, which will be FAS, FA history, margin end 2, because I'll have some text here. So view historical version. Okay, we have the button ready, this thing ready, this thing ready. Okay, not bad. Now let's move on to the next right call. So for the right panel, let's create a header. I will call it preview header. It will have paragraph tag, I guess. It will say enter URL and date to start. And again, paragraph tag, which will say historical preview. And let me add class to it. So I'll say URL display, and the next one would be preview text. Let's see. So we have these two things ready. Now let's move and create the content for the iframe to load, the actual website to load. So I'll call it div id equals preview maybe placeholder content, and class equals placeholder content. Okay, and it will have a div with text center. I'll need to show some default messages here, so I'll also use icon to make it look beautiful. So FAS, FA globe, margin end or margin bottom 3. All right, and another btag, and it will say website preview will appear here, something like this. Yeah, cool. Next, what I'm gonna do, I think this should be okay. Okay, so after placeholder content, I will add the iframe here. Iframe ID will be website frame, and class will be website dash frame, and it will be okay. Let's see. So I can add src just to preview it. Let's go with google.com for now. Maybe google.com doesn't allow us to embed. That's why it's not showing. Let's go with twitter.com. Oh, maybe I need to add something here. Sandbox equals allow same origin allow scripts. Okay, it doesn't work. Let's go with my website then. This should work. Yeah, it's working fine. Not bad. So I need to design it later on. No worries for that. Okay, I think we are done with this one. Let me add one more thing. And I will add a div here which will say progress bar. This one is for, if you can see the red line here, when I do it, it's just, looks like loading something, right? So we'll create this as well. So this tip is for that progress bar. Okay, so we are almost done with the HTML. Let's design it with our custom CSS. So for the CSS, we can start with the root element and the color combinations that I have here. We will use these colors for this one. Okay. And now we need to start from the body, right? So for the body, I'll start with background, which will be linear gradient with 135-degree probably. And the color will be primary color, 0%, followed by secondary color, 100%. Let's see. Nice. And we can move on to the next one now. Height would be 100 VH, margin 0, padding 15 px, overflow hidden. I want everything to wrap up inside one screen, single screen, I mean. And then for the main container, height would be probably, I need to calculate it with 100 VH minus 30 px. Okay. And after height, maybe background could be BZ white, border radius 15 px. Let's see. Okay, we're getting good. And box shadow could be 0, 10 px, 30 px with shadow color. Okay, the frame is almost ready now. Now let's move on to the left panel. Padding of 2 rem, border right would be 1 px solid. The border color, yeah, now it's separated. And after that, height of 100%. Okay, this is looking good now. Our iframe is cut off, but it doesn't matter. We'll get it back soon. For the right panel, height would be 100% as well, with padding probably 0. Okay, with background, maybe let's use a different one for now and see how it looks. Yeah, it's a bit different. And border top radius, not top right radius, 15 px, just on the top right. Yeah, similarly for the bottom right, the same thing, so that this is curved in all directions. Oh, why is it not working? Bottom. Now this one also should be curved. Yeah, it is now. Good going. Now I will go to the icon large maybe. So I've used the icon large here. Let's see which icon is it. See the time machine, this icon. So for that icon, what we will do, font size as it is large, we may need to give it up to 2.5. Color would be primary color. Let's see. Not bad. And finally, we also give some margin bottom 0.5 rem. Okay. So after this one, I can go to form control, border radius of 8px. Let me go through it first. Okay. Padding 8px, border 2px solid, color with border color. And let's add focus effect to it. Focus. Then change the box shadow with 0.25 rem. The color would be 102, 126, 234 with 0.25. And also change the border color with the primary color. Let's see. Okay, this is good. So to make it smooth, let's add transition here. All 0.3 seconds is okay. Not bad. Now we need to go for the input group text. Input group text. Border radius would be 8px. Background would be primary. Color would be white. Okay, this looks good. Maybe I need to remove the border and keep some padding of 0 and 15px. Okay, getting into shape now. Now, after input group text, let's move on to the submit button. This will also have a background of linear gradient 135, no, 45-degree, primary color of 0%. Maybe I don't need to provide it. And then secondary. Okay. Then the color could be white. Border, I don't need any border. And border radius would be 8px. Padding 10px. Font weight 600. Letter spacing 1px. Text transform uppercase. Okay, looks good, this button. So for this one, maybe let's not go for the hover effect right now. Let's go with card title now. This one is the card title. So for card title, color would be text primary, not secondary. Primary. Font weight would be probably 800 with font size 2 rem. Margin button 0.25 rem. Oh, the card title is not that one, I guess. Card title is okay. Card title is this one, not that one. That's why I got confused. So for the form label, I will have font weight of 600, color with text primary, and what else? Margin bottom of 0.5 rem. Okay. Now after form label, we can move on to card description, which will have color of text secondary, font size of 1 rem, margin bottom of 2 rem. Now we are good with this left panel. Okay. What else do we need? This looks good. Now let's move on to the website frame. Okay. Website frame. This is the iframe. So it will have width of 100%. Height would be 100% minus probably 50px. Let's go with it. If it does not work, we will correct it afterwards. So border would be none, background would be white. And let's see, where is our iframe now? So I have some mistakes here, I guess. Yes, that's why that was going down. So I need to make sure everything falls inside this right panel, starting with everything. Okay, all these things should be inside the right panel. Now it should work fine. Yeah, great. So we are going good now. So after the website frame, what we can do is, let's go for this header now. So for the preview header, what we can do, maybe a height of 50 px, padding of 0.8 rem, background white, border bottom 1 px, solid with border color, display flex, justify content space between, align items, center. Yeah. Oh, because the height is more, maybe I can reduce it by 100 px. Oh, it's not working. We'll see it why it's not working for us. Then preview text. Let's first remove this src. You want it like this, so let's go here for the preview text. This one is the preview text, so color would be text secondary, font size would be 0.9 rem, and margin would be 0. Okay, that looks good. So after preview text, for URL display, I'll have font family of monospace. Color could be primary color, maybe text primary, and then margin 0 with font size 0.9 rem. Okay, now it looks good. So because of this thing, I need to manage this thing and then it will work fine, I guess, the iframe part. So for the placeholder content, height 100%. See, it's working now. And then display flex, align items center, justify content center. Okay, we have this at the center now. Then color would be text secondary, font size 1.1 rem with background white. Okay, we still have this overflowing in the right. Let's see. So what are we missing right now? Maybe we need to provide some loading icon as well. So let's add one after the iframe. Class equals loading spinner with id equals loading spinner, and it will have spinner border, text primary, role equals status, and it will have a span with class visually hidden. It will say loading. Okay, let's see. Now I need to provide the CSS for this one as well. Let's see where it went. So down here, maybe because, okay, what I need to do, I need to display it none. I don't need to show it at first. For the iframe, right? Yeah. So it's display none. It's okay. Now, why is this page not working here? Container fluid is taking full space for this one. Container fluid, main container. Okay, this is not the solution, I guess. Yeah, this is not the solution. I'm not sure why it's not working. Container fluid row 4 and 8 for the 4 text center, and then the machine form. That is okay. For the right section, it's preview header, and then progress bar, and placeholder content, followed by iframe, and finally the loading spinner. Placeholder content height is 100%. Maybe for the right panel, I need to do overflow hidden. Great. See, it's working now. For the right panel, where is the right panel? Overflow hidden. Let's see. Yeah, it's fine now. So I need to design the progress bar like this. For progress bar, I'll add some more of CSS here. Progress bar, and it will have a background color of red. So background will be red. Height would be probably 5px. Then let's see how it looks. Okay, this is good. Let's make it absolute. Okay, position absolute, and top 50px should work because the height of this header is 60px. Sorry, 50px. So because it's absolute, I need to specify the width explicitly. Let's go with 50% for now. Yeah, now I can increase it to 60% pixel. Okay, this doesn't look bad. We'll animate it also. So because we need animation, I'll add transition here. Transition with width and 500 millisecond. Okay. Okay, we are ready with the design as well, right? Oh, we haven't had the loading spinner, right? So do I have anything for loading spinner? No. So let's see how it behaves, the loading spinner. Let me add it here for now so that I can see how it looks. Not bad. Now I can add some CSS to it as well. So loading spinner. I'll do it position absolute as well. Top 50%, left 50% so that it comes in the center, and still I have to transform it to make it exactly at the center. Translate -50%, -50%. Now it will be on the center. I'll add some background here. 255 with opacity of 0.9. Padding would be probably around 2 rem. Border radius 10 px. Box shadow 00. 20 px. RGBA 000 and opacity 0.1. This could be 20 px. So because I'm making it absolute, what I need to do, I need to make its parent as relative. So its parent is it placeholder content? I have to check it. No, it's not. It's the right panel. So I need to make it position relative. Oh, if I make it position relative, I can change it, I guess. Let's see. Yeah. So I have to change it to 50 px. Okay, now it's fine. Great. But I don't need width here because I'll be making it dynamic afterwards. So we are almost ready now. What I need to correct is I need this loading spinner at the bottom. This should be ideal for me. And also this should be hidden by default. So display none. Okay. So we are almost ready. Now we will jump into the JavaScript section where the real action begins. So let's start our JavaScript now where we are going to do the real action, right? So I'll catch the document.ready event and inside it we'll do everything. So I will catch the event, right? So time machine form dot submit. If submit event occurs, then I'll have the event e. I'll prevent the default behavior with prevent default. Okay. Now I'll grab the input fields. So const website equals dollar website dot rel. Const date equals dollar date dot val. So we have both the values ready here. Now I'll show the loading spinner. Spinner dot show. And I'll hide the website frame. Frame dot hide. Dot hide. And then change its src to blank. Similarly, I will also hide the placeholder content. Content.hide. I don't want it to be displayed now. Then URL display. That text would be dollar. Oh, may I use it directly? So what I'm doing, I'm changing this thing. Let's see if it works. So I'll say abc.com. I'll select some date here. It doesn't matter for now. And then click on it. But I don't think it's working. Do we have some error? We don't have. Is there some submit button? Yes. Oh, this is not div. This should be form, right? Now let's see abc.com with some date. And now is it working? Let's see here. Console.log website. Do I have some website here? So I can type anything I want. Yeah, we are there. But the URL display, I have not named it as URL display. So I need to change here ID as URL display. Now I can see the change. See, we have this here. So if I say ad.com, then it will be ad.com. Great. Okay, now we can move on to the next thing. So I need to prepare the API URL because I'll be calling API from webarchive. So the API URL would be https archive.org wayback. They call it the wayback machine, and I'll say available. This is the endpoint that I'm calling. So URL would be the website, which is website, and timestamp would be okay. Timestamp would be, let's call it formatted date, but we don't have it still. We just have the normal date, so I need to format it. Const formatted date equals date dot replace. Let me do this way. So what I'll do, slash g, is it this way? I think it is, in order to replace all the dash with blank, and then add 6 zeros to it because it wants the date in the format, just like 2025 January 1 12 hour 44 minute 22 seconds, something like this. That's why I added those things. So we have the API ready. We can see if API is working. Let's see if the API URL is right. So let's go for abc.com. Let's not go for abc, let's go for google.com and some date. Let's see. Yeah, we have this URL ready. Let's see if it works. See, it returns us with something that we really want now. Now I can call this API. So to call this API, so before calling, let's do one thing. Let's make this scroll bar working, right? This red one. So to make it working, what I'll do, I'll create a variable called progress here, and then call set progress bar from here, which will be a function that I'll define here. Function set progress bar. And what it will do, it will just set the progress bar dot css width to 0% by default, and then start loading it. So progress equals, this is the global progress. Let's not go with var, let's go with let, and set interval. I'll call this function, which will do let width equals get the current width, and I can get the current width as progress bar dot, let's get it with the line style dot match. So we will match it with width, and then a string which contains either 0 to 9, any number of 0 to 9 plus percentage, and then terminate it. This should work. Let's see if it works. So with if we have the width, we can parse it to integer and also replace the percentage with blank. So now we have the width here. If width is greater than or equals 90, we will clear the interval, progress, and then return. But if it is not the case, we will just increase the progress bar width by 2%. This should work fine. So we have called the progress bar. Let's see. abc.com, any date, and then do it. Okay, there's some issue here. Oh, I have some problem in this line. This is very complicated line, I guess. Let's check if I have anything error here. So progress bar dot attribute is style match with width. Okay, and sorry, width, then followed by string 0 to 9. Oh, it's not equals 0 to 9. This should be fine. See, perfect. You can see here. I can show you demo as well. See, we have 90. When I click it, Why is it increasing by bigger margin? I have just increased it by 2%. It should be a bit slow. Okay, we'll check it afterwards. No worries. At least it's working now. So after we set the progress bar, what we can do, we can actually call the API. So we will use Ajax request to call the API. The URL is API. Type is okay. Method is get success. After the API is success, we'll get a response here. And what we will do, we'll check if response has a key named archived snapshot. You can see it here. Yeah, if it has archived snapshot and it has archive snapshots dot closest, and also it has response dot archive snapshots dot closest dot URL. This is the one we want. If there is some URL in it, then we are good to go. And now what we can do, URL display dot text. I can change the text easily now, and it will be website dash. I can keep the timestamp. So the timestamp is, I can copy it up to closest dot timestamp. That's it. Let's see. So I need to have some URL that has some snapshots. Let's go with google.com or any date. See, google.com, this is the timestamp. 2025 January 1, 23 hour 59 minute and 8 seconds. That was the time this snapshot was taken. Okay. If you want to make this timestamp in a good format, what you can do is get date. You can create another function which will give you proper format of the date. So function get date. We have timestamp here, and it will be another complex function, I guess. So let's go with const first part equals, let's slice it with 0 to 8 because I need date and hours time separately. Similarly, I'll get the second part as timestamp dot slash 8. Give me everything after that 8 characters, right? So then date equals first part dot slash 0 to 4. This is our year dash first part dot slash from 4 to 6. This is our month plus dash, and then the first part dot slice. Oh, it's not slide. I was doing mistake here. Slice. And finally, probably 6 to 8. Okay, this is our date, and for the time, I'll append more thing here. Second part dot slice from 0 to 2 plus this is the time. Second part dot slice 2 to 4 plus, and second part dot slice 4 to 6. Great, and return date. Now we should see a properly formatted date. Okay, so google.com. See, oh, I need a space here. So for the space, I can do this. Easy, right? So we are ready with this one. Let's move on to the next step then. The main step, that is, we have to update the website here with the URL. So for that one, after this, we will do, I'll cast the iframe first equals $website frame. I have the iframe here, and I will do iframe.show. I'm going to show the iframe with attribute src set to this thing. I've already set the src now, and I can catch if the iframe.onLoad event is fired or not. After the iframe is loaded, I have to call something here. So after iframe is loaded, I will remove the loading spinner. I mean, hide the loading spinner, and also make the progress bar to sorry progress bar dot width to 100% because the iframe the website is already loaded now. This is if it is success, and if it is not success, then what I will do, website frame dot hide. I don't need to show the frame. Loading spinner dot hide. I don't want loading spinner as well. Then the placeholder content p dot html. I'll show a proper message here. No snapshot available. Something like this. The API didn't return me anything for this request. And finally, placeholder content. I need to show it because it has been hidden. CSS, maybe it's display flex, not block. Let's go with display flex. This is for the success function, and if it is error, I'll catch the error as well. Now I need to do more things here. I need to hide the loading spinner. Then I need to change this text also to some proper message, error in API, something like this. And I have to show this thing. Also, I need to make the progress bar to 100%. Great. Let's see now. Let's go for google.com. Let's go to some fact date now for 2014 January 1. Let's see how Google looked in 2014. Is there some error? Let's do it again. So yeah, we have some screenshots here. I mean the snapshots here, but it's not loading. Let's see why it is not loading. Right panel is fine. Iframe is display none. Let's just remove it. I don't need it. Loading spinner. Oh, loading spinner ID is mistake. That's why loading icon was not seen. So let's go with google.com for some recent dates now. Yeah, I can see the loading icon now. It's loading, 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 and loading only. Why? The API is already success. Yeah, it's success. So what am I missing here? Success function response. Res- Response has this thing. Maybe because iframe has not loaded yet. That may be the reason. Let's go with some other websites then. Let's go with ESPN Quick Info. Oh, there is no snapshot available. Makes sense. Let's go for 2017. It should be there. No. Why is it so? ESPN Quick Info. Twitter. It has screenshots. I mean snapshots. Yes. What if I do? Let's not wait for this iframe on load. I can just comment it out. Oh, at least iframe has to be shown, right? But it's still displaying none. This is weird. Let's do debug here. Google.com. Okay, the flow never arrives here. Why is it so? You have the result. Archive snapshots. What does this say? Okay, we are here. We have the response with us. Great. What does it say? Is it not satisfied? Yes, there is something in it. So, good, it is fine. Do we have date? No. Oh, it won't have date here. So, let's copy this and paste it over here. See, it should work. Google.com. Let's remove the debugger. Google.com and date. Maybe I'm missed the spelling here as well. It's not website different. Oh my god, I'm doing simple mistakes. Maybe this is not available. Still not available. Oh, there is no screenshot for this one as well. It has snapshot available, so it should load Google website. See, so it's loading Google website. This is how Google looked in 2014 January 8 at 25:58. So I can do with ESPN quick info now. How it looked in 2014. I think it's loading. Yeah, it's loading. So this is how ESPN quick info looked at 2014. Let's see another one. Let's see Twitter how it looked at 2014. 2014 January 8th. So this is how Twitter looked. Obviously not the blank page. Okay. Whenever I do inspect, it just loads. See, Twitter looked like this. Do we have for Facebook? Yeah, great. Everybody remembers this screen, I guess. Of the Facebook, right? Did we have Instagram at that time? I'm not sure if Instagram was present, at least in web. Okay, this was the page of Instagram. Great. See, you can do, you can search for any websites apart from these as well. Wikipedia. Okay, maybe Wikipedia was not available that time. What about LinkedIn? Oh, is the spelling correct? See, LinkedIn was also present over there. Let's go for Skype or Yahoo. Let's go for Yahoo. It should be available since not even 14. We can also go up to 2004. Let's see how Yahoo looked in 2004. See, this was how Yahoo looked in 2004. Isn't it cool? This is very interesting tool, right? I think this should be enough for today. I've had a lot of practice today. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys already know that I have provided a link in the video description below, and you can find all the source code that I did in this video in that link. Please subscribe us for more interesting and useful videos like this. This much for today. Cheers, guys.